What's going on to all of my Cancer crabs out there? So let's get into it. So the cards that I have for you Cancers are the Three of Wands, the Ace of Swords, then you have the Hanged Man, then you have the Six of Pentacles, and then you have the Queen of Cups. Hold on one second. You also have the Three of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Hierophant, and you have the Magician. So what I'm seeing here for you Cancer crabs is obviously no major arcana so far that represents Cancer, right? No Cancer crabs as far as major arcana. But let's see what it is that y'all got. Let's see. So Three of Wands, Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man. Very profound cards, because this is about you Cancers having to learn to now that you know enough about the game, now that you know enough about yourselves, and you will still continue to learn about yourselves, right? The Hanged Man. Now the Three of Wands and the Ace of Swords represents, now you're in the tunnels of Set. And what I mean by that is defining who you are and who you want to be. So now you got to start creating a schedule for yourself. Time management. See, that's the next step in the evolution for a lot of you Cancer crabs. Time management. Y'all are going to have to figure out who and what y'all want to be. Right? Get more in touch in the relationship with yourselves and yourselves. The Three of Wands, this is going to be difficult because you'll have to cut certain things out of your life, but it's going to be well worth it. The Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man, you will learn more about yourself in the next coming 2 months. By the end of the year, you will learn a lot about yourself, so much to the point where you will be a completely different person than who you were. A lot of people like to put on traumas and misfortunes and follies and idiosyncrasies onto other people, and a lot of people tried to put those same type of traumas onto you. But a lot of you Cancer crabs at this current point in time, y'all are supposed to evolve past that, because you're supposed to understand that that's not what love is about. That's not what love is about. It's about relationship with self first before you decide to actually go off and decide to speak to somebody else. So then you have the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Find someone who actually cares about you and your situation, right? Because when you Cancer crabs find that person who cares about you, who actually cares about you, you're going to be here in this state where you will learn that people who care about you, the relationship, are reciprocal. And what I mean when I say reciprocal is it's a give and take, right? It's they chase you and you chase them. A lot of times in most relationships, people do not chase each other. What people do is that they tend to have one person be the chaser and the other person tends to run away. But that's not a real relationship. And I'll tell you why it's not a real relationship. Because usually this is why it is that you get a lot of people who get cheated on. People who end up getting cheated on, more than likely, I'm not saying 100% of the times, because I'm not going to act like I know every single situation. But more than likely, the people who get cheated on, they were the person who was doing a lot of the running away. Right? They were doing a lot of that, running away, ducking and dodging, doing all this other type of stuff, right? But what happens is that they expected the person to do so much running that when the person finally caught them, right, months, weeks, maybe even years later, that the person got what it is that they wanted and cheated. Well, the reason why is because the person realized that there was nothing else after they caught you. when they caught you, that was the height of how far the relationship was going to go. You don't want to set your relationships up like that. What you want to do is you want to set your relationships to where it becomes it becomes a gradual build, where you gradually find out things about your significant other, things about yourself, and it slowly becomes a gradual build upwards, because you're finding out more and more and more about that person, and you're learning whether or not you really like that person, whether or not you have some sort of commonality with that person. So it's like the more you find out about them, and the more the physical intimacy, when it does happen, the better it gets. Because see, part of the reason why it is, and don't worry, all this stuff is relating to the reading, but part of the reason why it is that, you know, things end up going sour is because a lot of people are unrelatable in relationships. How are you trying to create a relationship, a ship, right? Essentially, or an agreement where two people agree to be in, two or more, depending on, you know, who you with, where you're from or whatever, and what you're into. I don't care about what you're into. I'm just saying whatever you are, live and let live. But whatever your situation is, the people in the relationship who have agreed to be there, they don't even know how to relate to each other. They have nothing in common. They are not on the same track. The only thing that's getting them to, the only thing that gravitated them to each other, which has them in that relationship, is just the physical intimacy. And truth be told, the physical intimacy can get better. How? By finding relation, by finding some sort of commonality, right? Because the more you are attached to that person, the better it is. Believe me. Believe me. Take it from a person who has a Pluto and Scorpio in the 8th house. Believe me, I know. So the situation with that is, when you're out here and you really do have something in common with the person, amazing. And the two of y'all get along, amazing. So find someone who actually cares about you. The more you're able to relate to yourself and upgrade yourself, upgrade your living space, upgrade your spirituality, your personal health, your wealth, your finances, your mobility. Shout outs to Kareemspiritworks for that. The better off you'll be. Because then when you start to date other people and get to know other people, number one, you'll be able to skip through a lot of the BS and figure out very fast if they actually care about you, if they don't. And number two, you'll also be able to understand that these people are not really, they don't really have relation to you or not. They're not even really in a relationship with you. They're just there to get some sort of physical intimacy. So what you have to do is that find something in common with the person. Let me show you how creative you can be. You could be creative to a situation where you could literally come up with something on the spot. You could be like, hey, try something new. You could be like, hey, you want to go ahead and try out motorcycle? Because I'm in a motorcycle. You want to go ahead and go to the range. You want to go dancing. You want to don't go to a club for that. You want to, I don't know, but come up with something on the fly where even if the two of you don't have something in common, they can get into what you like, or you can get into what they like, or you can come up with something to where you cancers can say, so even if, this isn't one of my hobbies, this isn't one of your hobbies, This right here, when we engage doing this, when we do this, this is our sharing time. And this is what it is that we do specifically, even if we may not necessarily be independently, right, or individually into this, right? When we get together and we want to spend bonding time, this is what it is that we're going to do. So associate me. When you see this, associate me with this idea. When I think of the same thing, excuse me, I'm going to associate you with the same idea, because it makes the intimacy, it spices up the relationship. It creates a very physical and emotional, spiritual attachment. A lot of oxytocin is created because of it. Trust me, a lot of natural dopamine. Then you have the Three of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and then you have the Nine of Swords. So the Three of Cups represents, you know, some of you may be in that type of relationship where it's a very open relationship. Like I said before, you know, but the Ten of Wands represents a lot of you Cancers are walking away from that. A lot of you Cancers don't want to deal with anybody who is into that type of stuff, who is into any kind of open relationship, who is into any kind of cheating, not telling you about the situation before you get into it, has red flags but hides it, all that other type of stuff. A lot of you Cancer crabs are not into that. Y'all want somebody who's actually, like, you know, who doesn't have red flags. You know what I mean? Has flaws but doesn't necessarily have red flags. And I've explained it before in a different video. A red flag and a flaw are two different things. A red flag is an individual who it's a character flaw, right? To where, you know, maybe they're very petty, they're short-sighted. Those are red flags, because that can cause a lot of detriment through the relationship. It can end up messing you up, because the person may end up being a little bit too selfish to see, you know, to have foresight. But a flaw is something like, I don't know, a flaw is something like maybe they get out of bed while y'all are asleep, and, you know, they get out of, you know, the way that they get out of bed very wildly or something like that, right? Or something like that. That's just a flaw. It's not really very important, really, at all. Not really, if you think about it. But a red flag would be something like this person doesn't respect or has a problem with respecting other people. So like when they drive or something like this, they drive very quickly and stuff like this, and with no regard for other people on the highway or the street. That's a red flag. You know what I mean? It's a matter of importance. And then the Nine of Swords represent, but a lot of y'all are thinking about if you'll ever get this person, that type of person that you can actually have something real with. The Nine of Swords, don't worry about it. A lot of you are actually starting to sleep better because of it, because a lot of you are starting to see your own way and do things that you want to. Get that isolation, that self-imposed isolation. Ooh, that sun beaming through. Get that, ooh. But a lot of y'all are getting that self-imposed, hold on. A lot of y'all are getting that self-imposed isolation that y'all need. And as a result of this, a lot of you Cancer crabs are sleeping quite better because of it. For the Cancer crabs who still have issues, what happens here is that a lot of you Cancers should be at rest, because I'm here to tell you that if you've been doing the work, you're in a very good position, and that you don't really have too much to worry about. What you Cancer crabs should be doing now is thinking about the future and what type of outcome you want to have 10, 20, 25 years. The thing is that the Hierophant and the Magician represents this being a situation for a lot of you Cancers now where what you Cancer Crab want to do is, what y'all want to do is y'all want to be in a situation where y'all can to be yourselves. And like I said, this is where finding that person who actually reciprocates and who actually cares about you just like they care about themselves is a very good idea, right? But what it's saying is the Hierophant and the Magician, pay attention to the type of people whom you're getting to know around this time, right? Or you will in the future, a week or next 2 weeks, get to know. Because listen to your instincts, you know? Because people know whether or not a person is really right for them or not. It's just that a lot of people hang out with other people because they want to get some sort of physical, materialistic means to an end. That's what it is, truth be told. They want to get some sort of materialistic means to an end a lot of the times. So let's clarify the Hierophant. One more time, let's shuffle it up to make it really random. All right, so you have the Two of Swords to clarify the Hierophant. You have the Judgment. You have the Ace of Wands. All right, I guess we can go ahead and draw another one. And then we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Swords represent how don't play blind to your own instincts. If your feelings are telling you you and this person are not right for each other, then don't hang around them. The Judgment, also pay attention to those red flags. If you see somebody is not your speed, if you see somebody is not going to be and y'all Cancer Crabs, y'all know it to be true or not. Y'all know, because Cancers deal with fighting instinct. It's not the fire signs. Cancers deal with fighting instincts. That's one of the reasons why Cancer Crabs is a cardinal sign. It deals with fighting instincts. Aries draw that fighting instincts from Cancers. All the zodiac signs do, because Cancer deals with the instincts and the desire to stay alive, survival instincts. So the thing is that the Judgment represents for you Cancers to utilize what's naturally in your own wheelhouse anyway. When you know that a person is not for you, don't try to force the situation to be what's something that's actually not. Leave them alone. Listen to your feelings and your instincts. And I'm going to make the differences. Don't worry, I'm going to make a video talking about the differences between emotionalism or emotions and feelings. I got a lot of videos coming up. Please bear with me. I got more readings and stuff like this and other videos waiting in queue. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to get a chance to drop all that stuff. Just bear with me here, please. And then you have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands. The Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands is you got to be prepared for any type of, anytime your instincts let you know that you're not really for this person anymore and the two of you are not supposed to hang out, don't hang out with them anymore, because your instincts, your feelings are telling you that it's a good idea for you to not hang out with these people. Then you have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands represents you still have so many other people that you can hang out with. And if you've ever seen the scene from the Game of Thrones, this is when Queen Daenerys looked over the castle, I guess balcony, or I should say the castle that she was stationed in for a while, to see a whole group of people down there and the dragon up there. So it goes to show you what it is that I'm talking about how it is that you should be paying attention to the fact that you have so many other options. Please do not try to force an option that you know isn't working out. Let's clarify the Magician. The Magician now represents how the Magician is the Queen of Wands, which is Queen Daenerys. Remember, I was just talking about Queen Daenerys. There you go. So I was ahead of myself. The Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, And then you have the Four of Cups. You already have the Hierophant. I just clarified the Hierophant to you. So you still have plenty of options here. Don't worry about it. The Queen of Wands, Nine of Wands, and the Four of Cups. You take your time, right? Take your time. If you want to, you can. There is a way for you to date multiple people at a time. If you want to date one person at a time, you just get people's numbers. Very easy. You get people's numbers and then you date them. And if you date one person at a time, if you're not into that, you can date multiple at a time. If you're not into that, you can date one person at a time, get people's numbers, interact with them one at a time. They aren't your speed. Things aren't really going well. They're not a match. You don't have anything in common, anything's in common. There's the value, the spiritual system is not there. The health is not there. You don't really have any kind of real core principles at heart. You leave them alone. You move on to the next person. The Four of Cups, don't let people manipulate you Cancer crabs into thinking that they're really for you by giving you feedback, self-absorbed feedback by telling you things that you want to hear. But in actuality, that's not who they are. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as the website, the link to my website is in the description box as well as the comment section below. Also, the link to my book on Amazon is also in the description as well as the comment section below. Shout outs to y'all. Some of y'all, I finally got my first customer when it comes to my newly second edition book of From the Beginning to the End. Really appreciate y'all for buying it on Amazon. It's an ebook. Really appreciate it. It's also a physical soft copy. Please go ahead and buy it. I don't care if you get it through Kindle, Kindle, soft copy. I was trying to make a hard copy, but hard copy, I would have to put more pages in it. And just, again, really, really, really appreciate it. Also, too, I'm trying to get this YouTube channel to 2,500 subscribers. I have 2,353 subscribers. Keep smashing that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep clicking that notification bell and set that notification bell to all so you can get reminded whenever it is that I drop these videos. Peace.